According to a recent study, a recent competition, New York City is selected to have the 2 best public restrooms in all of North America. Think about that. The 2 best public restrooms in all of North America. Oh, buddy, I bet that LeBron James is kicking himself now.
Or not. LeBron James kicking it in Miami, though, more specifically the Florida Panhandle. On the court as a member of the Heat for the first time at the team's initial practice yesterday. Reigning 2-time MVP going through an intense workout, defensive drills, a training camp that has been promised to be tough, certainly befitting the military installation where it's being held. The Heat at Hurlburt Field, a U.S. Air Force installation, part of the greater area surrounding Eglin Air Force Base. So the players scheduled to go through some training alongside airmen this week. Not a typical training camp, and thus we did not send a typical announced team. No, we sent the Big Three: Josh Elliott, John Barry, and Jalen Rose. Morning, Josh.
Hey, how are you? And yes, welcome to Hurlburt Field here on the Florida Panhandle. And you talk about intense workouts. Take a look at the Special Tactics Training Squadron, the elite of the airmen, the best of the best. And boys,
mine in at 5:30 this morning.
yeah, clearly good. TV. Yeah, you're Mike the Trim. Again, guys, we're here. Obviously, Jalen Rose, John Barry alongside. The most anticipated NBA regular season in memory is now less than 4 weeks away. Guys, obviously, it is never too early to look at the schedule. In fact, it's something that our Rachel Nichols did with the Big Three earlier this week.
I got to ask you guys about a couple of the games you're going to play first half of the season. Season opener in Boston. Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Shaquille O'Neal, Rajon Rondo. What is that going to be like?
It's going to be fun. I mean, it's a lot of all-star bigs, future Hall of Famers in that game, and we're looking forward to it. I mean, we probably going to get booed that night, too. Yeah, we get booed that night, too. But it's going to be a really good team, real coach team. You know, Doc Rivers has been one of the best coaches in the league. So it's going to be an early challenge for both teams. I mean, I think they will be a little bit more along than we are because they've been together. They've implemented a couple guys, but you know, we coming together. But I mean, it'll be a good test. It'll be a good early test.
And then, of course, you guys play in Cleveland. Dwayne, you recently said you think you're going to need a police escort just to get out of that city. What is that going to be like?
Hey, I'm just going to bring my camera. I just want to get the footage.
I think it's going to get a lot of boos that night, too. You know, it definitely won't be a warm reception. But it's another game, another challenge for us to deal with adversity throughout the course of this season. And I'm looking forward to it. I got a lot of memories with those fans. And, you know, I'm going to see a lot of fans that I've seen every single night for those 41 home games every season, plus playoffs. And but I'll be on the other side this time.
So what is the potential kryptonite for this team? What could really derail you guys this year?
We're not going to let nothing derail us. We're going to stick together too much. We know what's out there. We're going to be prepared, and we have to be strong together and as individuals to make sure that we accomplish every goal that we set.
Well, again, guys, taking a look at the key games on a slate, it's hard to argue that every game for this team won't be key, at least for someone. But, JB, taking a look at this screen, what jumps out at you?
Well, obviously, Boston and the season opener is going to be tremendous to watch. But you got to circle the LA Lakers. You know, this is Christmas Day on our network, which is terrific because it's going to be the best game of the year. But a great barometer because the Miami Heat will play about 25, 30 games to this point. So you're going to see where they are. They're going to know what kind of team they are. And no better challenge than to go up against the defending champs in their barn. I cannot wait for that matchup. It's Ron Artest, it's Kobe, it's Matt Barnes now to match up with LeBron James, with Dwayne Wade. It's going to be a real special Christmas day.
What about LeBron James returning to Cleveland, Ohio, where he's from to play against the Cavs? It's going to be a tidal wave of negative emotion. What about this? He's the greatest player in Cavs history, 2-time MVP, and taking the team to the finals, all-time leading scorer in franchise history. Do they retire his number?
He earned it already.
It's going to be so much ill will that day. I can't wait to see.
What do you think he'll do that day?
I think he may go for 50. Literally.
Dwayne will probably say, it is your night, bro.
Exactly.
You do it.
Yes.
Oh.
At least 50. A very conservative estimate again as we look at.
Who's going to play for Cleveland?
Well, that's the thing. Taking a look here at the projected starting lineup, you'll notice. Well, there's one name missing as he's here with his new teammates with Heat. And guys, I want to ask, look, these guys have said from day one of the newly remade NBA, the newly remade Miami Heat, that it's about rings. You guys have said all week, it's about rings. But this team will be judged in the regular season like no team in NBA history. That being said, Jalen, will a 68-69 win regular season be a failure? No, not at all. As long as they get the #1 seed, that's ultimately what it's all about in the Eastern Conference. They have some tough competition. I know we're talking all about the Heat. They still have to show up to perform. The Orlando Magic, the Boston Celtics, and the Chicago Bulls, they will be tested in the East. And obviously you got the Lakers out West. Get the #1 seed, then you focus on the playoffs.
No rings handed out in the regular season, so who cares what the number is? Get the #1 seed and take it from there.
Again, there is a magic number out there, 72. Might they push their way past it? Well, we're going to have to wait a few months to see. Of course, we are here with the Miami Heat all week long here as they open training camp at Hurlburt Field. That workout, not the only one today. The Heat's first practice tipping at 11 Eastern. We'll have the latest from that next hour. More on their first regular season foe, the newly annealed Celtics. John.